Everybody, we're ready to go forward. Yes.
Right. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, those in the room, and everyone watching on Charm TV. The February 26, 2026 proceedings of the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City will now begin. Please take this opportunity to turn off or mute all of your electronic devices. The board is now in session. Just a few preliminary matters. Case number 16 has been postponed and will be heard at a later date. If you're here for a particular case, please take a look at the docket that is posted at the exterior of the room to make sure your case is in fact being heard today. And finally, when you come up to the lectern to speak, please make sure that the microphone is on, you are close to it, so everyone can hear at home. All right. In accordance with Section 12-2105A of the Maryland Alcoholic Beverages and Cannabis Article and Liquor Board Rule 2.16, the following licensees have participated in the monetary penalty in lieu of hearings program by voluntarily admitting the violations as charged and paying the corresponding fines. Ignatius Aniaco DeFaco Trans, Inc., trading as Ibis International, 6014 Hartford Road, Class B, beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Rule 3.081B. They paid a fine of $500. Marie Ransom, Marie Louise Catering, Inc., trading as Marie Louise Bistro, 904 North Charles Street, Class B, beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Rule 3.052 and violation of Rule 3.034 for a total fine of $600. Catherine Savoy, Savoy Management Services, LLC, trading as Club Pussycat, 411 East Baltimore Street, Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license, and Class AE, adult entertainment license. Violation of Rule 3.031 and violation of Rule 3.034 for a total fine of $600 that was paid. Myung Han Kim and Brenda L. Smith, ABW Inc., trading as Mimi's Discount Liquors, 2607 through 09 Greenmount Avenue, Class A, beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Rule 4.201 for a fine of $500 was paid. Nathaniel Branch III, Arthurita Sanders, and Artira Watkins, Beulah Lounge, LLC, trading as Beulah Bar and Grill, 5707 Bel Air Road, Class B, beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Rule 3.092, and they paid a fine of $500. Now into the actual cases. David Tafaro, Firefly Farms Liquors, LLC, trading as Firefly Farms Market, 3300 Clipper Mill Road, stall number 7, Class A, beer, wine, and liquor license, request for a hardship extension under the provisions of the Alcoholic Beverages and Cannabis Article, Section 12-2202. Please come forward. Whichever one you feel comfortable with. Is the light on?
Okay. Good morning. Do you want to come up, Mr. Tafaro? I am Margaret Giordano. I am here from Rosenberg Martin Greenberg on behalf of Caroline Hecker, who has a scheduling conflict this morning, here with my client, Mr. David Tafaro. He is the personal representative of the estate of Sharon Tafaro, the individual licensee in this case. Mr. Tafaro also is the sole member of Whitehall Mill LLC, which is the entity that owns the licensed premises. This is a request for a hardship extension to allow 180 days to complete the transfer of ownership of a Class A license. And essentially, Mr. Tafaro's wife, late wife, passed away in May of 25. She was the individual licensee on this license. So because of that, we're asking for additional time to allow him to find a new tenant and transfer the license to the new tenant.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, Commissioners?
No questions.
No questions.
Okay,
Based
thank
on-
you.
Based on Ms. Hecker's letter of October 28th, I find I grant the 180-day hardship extension. Commissioner?
I concur with the chairman. Based on your written request and the information presented here today, I vote to approve a hardship extension for the Class A beer, wine, and liquor license.
I will also vote to approve your hardship extension request for this Class A beer, wine, and liquor license.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Sorry for your loss.
Mark Howard Butcher and James Michael Glick, Medium Rare Baltimore LLC, trading as Medium Rare, 711 West 40th Street, Suite 100, Class B, beer, wine, and liquor license request for a hardship extension under the provisions of the Alcoholic Beverages and Cannabis Article, Section 12-2202. Please come forward.
Hi, good morning.
Can you raise your right hand, please?
Yes, sir.
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
And can you state your name?
Mark Bucher.
Can you tell us why you need the 180-day hardship extension?
Good morning. At first, I want to quantify, I want to thank you all in the city for helping us with this process a little bit. It's always stressful going through what we're going through, but also because of weather delays, I had to actually miss my first hearing, and you all were gracious to extend it. So I appreciate that. It speaks volumes to how the city is willing to work with businesses to make things happen. Not everyone says thank you, so thank you. Our story is this. We signed a lease. We opened a restaurant. Didn't do well, but we're an exemplary operator, never a violation, never an issue. This is our 9th restaurant. We have this, we know what we're doing, and we train. And shopping center was sold, new landlord came in, things really went downhill very quickly. Crime, sales plummeted, and we had to temporarily shut the restaurant. In our chaos of temporarily shutting the restaurant, our liquor license had come to its expiration date. We are now working with the new owners to come back, bring the jobs back, reopen back, with new emphasis on what we're doing there, including the whole Rotunda area. So we asked for an extension to kind of help get us our ducks in a row so we can reopen the restaurant.
Thank you. Thank you for telling us what's going on. Any questions, Commissioners?
No questions.
No questions.
Based on your letter dated October 28, 2025, and the statement that you gave today, I do grant your 180-day hardship extension of this Class B beer, wine, and liquor license.
I concur with the chairman. Based on your written request and the information you provided today, I grant the hardship extension for this Class B beer, wine, and liquor license.
I will also vote to approve your hardship extension based on your testimony today for this Class B beer, wine, and liquor license.
No exhibits for the record.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. You have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Anastasia Irene Tantaros, No Land Beyond LLC, trading as No Land Beyond, 2125 Maryland Avenue. Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license request for a hardship extension under the provisions of the Alcoholic Beverages and Cannabis Article, Section 12-2202. Please come forward.
Nice to see you, Mr. Hurdle.
Abraham Hurl on behalf of Ms. Tantaros and No Land Beyond LLC. I'm not sure if the board remembers, this location, the business operation moved a couple of blocks away, and they have a B license. They still have this BD7 that they're trying to find a buyer for. I believe we have a contract that should be signed in the next couple of days. I think the hardship was filed in October. So we're just looking for the 180 days from that October timeline to get that wrapped up and sold off, if at all possible.
Any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
Thank you.
All right. Based on your October 23rd letter, 2025, and your proffer you made today, I vote to approve this 180-day hardship extension of this Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license.
I also vote to approve this extension of this hardship for this Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license.
I will also vote to approve your hardship extension for this Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license.
Russell.
No exhibits for the record.
Chairman, Commissioners, thank you. May I be excused?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Zachary Miller, Food for Thought Hospitality LLC, trading as Marta Allmare, 1303 Point Street, R-01A. Application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license under the provisions of the Alcoholic Beverages and Cannabis Article, Section 12-1604C2, 1 little I, requiring $700,000 in capital investment in restaurant fixtures and facilities, 65% of food sales, and seating capacity for a minimum of 150 people, requesting live entertainment, outdoor table service, and off-premises catering. Please come forward.
Mr. Fogelman, how are you?
Yes, good morning. Stephen W. Fogelman on behalf of the applicant, Zachary Miller. I was out of town. I get back into town Tuesday night. Sitting on my coffee table is the new issue, not in newsstands yet, only 2 newsstands left in the world, I think. But make Baltimore's best restaurants of 2026 is Marta in Butcher's Hill. And I am honored to be here today with a visionary. I feel like Baltimore's culinary scene is really approaching world class these days, and we've got some really talented operatives here in the city. One of them is standing next to me, Matthew Edding. He's responsible for Marta in Butcher's Hill. And what we have here today, in his words, is a seafood forward version of American cuisine with a thick Italian accent. He's been nominated for a James Beard Award, and he has a menu that is shockingly delicious. Unfortunately, the original Marta menu was submitted with the application, and as you can see, it's fine dining. But what we have in store for you in the future here are things like a caviar omelet, octopus mortadella, risotto del mare, just really, really incredible ingredients, very creative, and I'm very excited about that. Mr. Edding, he's basically got double the capacity at the Harbor Point location, 150 seats, and he is excited to serve that community. I feel like Harbor Point is filling in very nicely after being kind of spotty for a couple of years.
It is, yes.
So no stranger to hospitality, no stranger to alcohol management. They get a crowd that is a little bit older, and quite frankly, there's no cheap beers on the menu, no young crowd. So we're pretty excited about that. The budget, which is already into evidence, shows $1.415 million between constructions and capital improvements, kitchen equipment, et cetera. And we talk about these food numbers, 50%, 51% food. 65% food is a pretty high bar to make. But unlike many clients, and we'll come in here and say, well, we expect to hit 51%. We expect to hit 65. We actually have proof that we hit those numbers with Marta. I didn't bring them, but if you go to the renewal files, you will see that Marta hits 71% food to alcohol ratio. So this one, like I say, it's the highest bar in the city of Baltimore for a Class B license, but Mr. Edding is exceeding those numbers. And so I think he will be, and I think this restaurant that he's part of this team will be an amazing addition to our newest neighborhood. And in that regard, we have Zachary Miller, who's the applicant and happens to be the bar manager at Marta currently. So he is very much aware of the program. He's very much knowledgeable about the rules and regulations of our liquor board here. They've certainly had no violations, and we expect that to continue as he is moving over to Marta Al Mare.
This is going to be a great addition to Harbor Point. Yeah, so I'm excited about Marta. Any questions?
No question.
No questions.
And you hit all of the requirements. You far exceeded the minimum capital investment. So based on your application materials, the proffer that you made here today, any exhibits that were pre-submitted, I vote to approve this application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license with live entertainment, outdoor table service, and off-premises catering.
I also vote to approve this application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license with live entertainment, outdoor table service, and off-premises catering. Thank you.
I will also vote to approve this application for a Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license with live entertainment, outdoor table service, and off-premise catering based on your proffer today.
Commissioner Thomas, thank you. I don't know if Mr. Edding knows, but Commissioner Thomas is our foodie commissioner. So
She is.
thank you very much,
Yeah.
Commissioner.
She didn't have any questions.
And I didn't have any questions. I know
Normally does.
Marta.
Thank you.
Ms. Russell,
No exhibits for the record.
thank you.
all.
Good luck to you guys.
Appreciate
I see you. Thank you, Mr. Fogelman.
Okay, moving into violation hearings. Aisha Ali and Myrtle Johnson, excuse me, The Spot LLC, trading as The Spot, 1171 through 73 West Hamburg Street, Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Rule 4.051, prohibited hours on November 9, 2025. Individuals consuming alcohol in licensed establishment past 2 a.m. Violation of Rule 4.071, open containers and legal possession and consumption of alcoholic beverages on November 9, 2025. Patrons leaving premises with cups of alcohol. And finally, violation of Rule 3.031, records on November 9, 2025, failing to provide employee records. Please come forward.
Can you state your name for the record?
Andre Lamore Cotton.
I can't hear you.
Andre Lamore Cotton.
Mercati?
Cotton.
Cotton.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, if I can.
Yes, go ahead.
Spell that.
ANDRECOTTON.
Can you raise your right hand?
And for the sake of efficiency, if we can spare in any and all agents who might be testifying later.
Stand up. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. You swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Thank you. And what's your position?
Well, I'm the son. My mom is sick. She's in the hospital right now. Aisha was my fiance. We're not together no more. My son was Don Trey, who was running the bar, and he didn't do a good job.
Okay. Are you, before we get into that, so do you work for the bar? Do you have ownership in the bar?
Yes. Well, I'm the manager now.
You're the manager now of the bar?
Yes.
Okay. Are you admitting to the violations today, or are you contesting the
Yes,
violations?
because they're not here. Yes, yes. That
Good.
go to show you that his actions was
Okay.
he's not even here to show.
All right. Go ahead. Tell us what happened.
Good morning. I'm Inspector Zain Nazir, Baltimore City Liquor Board. On November 9th, around 2:07 a.m. approximately, I was en route to a 311 call when I passed the spot, and I could clearly hear music from over a block away, and I saw two patrons outside on the deck. I returned to the establishment at approximately 2:14 a.m. after responding to my 311 and still noticed two patrons out on the deck and their LED open sign still illuminated. At that point, I contacted Chief McGinnis to request backup since I was working by myself. Agent Tudhope arrived at approximately 2:30 a.m. and we proceeded to walk towards the establishment. Upon seeing us, the two patrons on the deck ran inside. A gentleman that was standing outside the front entrance ran inside and quickly locked the door. As we approached the door, we knocked on it and tried to gain entry, but were initially denied. But clearly through the door, we could see many patrons sitting at the bar and the manager inside. On our persistent knocking, someone did approach the door, unlocked it, and let us in. As we approached the manager, we saw three patrons sitting at a bar top pouring themselves a 750 bottle of Tito's vodka into clear plastic cups. We asked the manager why they were so open, and he said, well, these are all employees. At that point, we requested employee records, and we were denied. As we were speaking to the manager, the three patrons that were sitting consuming vodka picked up their cups and proceeded to walk outside. We followed them to take photos as evidence, and they left the scene. And at that point, we informed the manager that he would be receiving violations for operating after hours, letting patrons walk out with cups, and not presenting employee records.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay.
I do.
Go ahead.
I read what I read and what they said, and my son is being real rebellious, so I could believe everything they saying.
Okay. So you're admitting to the violations. That's what you're saying anyway.
Yes.
So since you're managing it, when did you start managing the property?
I stepped in like about 2 months ago.
2 months ago?
Yeah.
What changes have you made?
I just shut it down. I just stopped it because it wasn't being ran right. And me and my fiance not together no more, so it was kind of like a little difficult for me letting him do it, and it was running in the hole, so I just stopped.
What are the plans for the
I
spot?
have a Rod Lee, new management, but you got to talk to my mother and everything. But it's been redone up. No kids, no more. I wish he was here so he can, say what he would say. But
So you're saying there's going to be a new management team that comes in
yes,
with an older crowd? Is that what you're saying? I'm
Yes,
trying to understand.
yes, sir. No. What I mean by that is that crowd was a young crowd.
Okay. Any questions, commissioners?
I appreciate you taking ownership. I think that speaks value of your character and what you see this business going forward. And I understand that going forward, if you're still involved, that these type of issues won't be occurring anymore.
No, they won't.
Well, I would like to know, do you plan on utilizing some of the services here that we have, our educational?
Yes, what I'm trying to do now is we doing it for the community, more so for the community. A lot of stuff that I've been talking to and talking with is about the community more so now. This guy, his name is Rod Lee, he's a very good,
Let me understand you, though. When you say the community, are you speaking with community organizations to
Yes.
establish an MOU
That's what I'm
about
trying to
your
do.
operation?
Yes, I need help. Like I say, my mom is sick.
Okay.
So I'm taking over, making sure everything is getting done the right way. So I had help, but we're not together no more. So it's kind of a little difficult for me to just right this second, but I'm doing it right now.
Okay, so I would suggest that you take advantage of the resources that the Liquor Board has for educating you on what your liquor license policies and regulations cover. So I think that would be the first step for you to better understand your licensing. And then moving to get proper management and personnel who have experience to assist you in running, a profitable business.
Yeah, so we're concerned. I'm concerned with the after hours. You have to close at the time. You have to have staff that know the rules and regulations. So I want you to focus on this. I want you to focus on that when you guys reopen, even if you're going to have new management, and also having, even if they're employees, they can't be pouring for each other. With our inspectors in there, being able to see that's very, very sloppy. So I need, if you guys need help, I need you to call our office and talk with us. But this can't keep happening. I see there are other violations that have happened in 2025. There were 1, 2, 3 different dates: April, May, and October. So you see a little pattern starting to evolve. So that I'm glad you shut down. But it's time now to regroup, get your team together, and if you need help, like Commissioner said, with making sure that you understand the rules, I think we have someone that can help.
Yeah, and Chief McGinnis there has the form where it has the dates for our classes, and I think he wants to just talk with you as well. Mr. Ockheimer is back there, who is our community
Raise your hand.
liaison. They can all help.
Right there.
Help you.
Yeah, so we're putting things in place to help licensees, especially newer licensees or licensees that are having issues, to make sure that you guys understand the rules and have the resources necessary. So utilize those resources, okay?
Yes, sir.
But now I'm ready to move forward with, based on your, you agreed that you did violate these rules in your testimony given today and the testimony that was given and any evidence that was entered into the record. I do find there was a violation of Rule 4.051, prohibited hours. I do find there was a violation of Rule 4.071, open container and illegal possession and consumption of alcoholic beverages. And I do find a violation of Rule 3.031, records on the prohibited hours. I believe there's a minimum violation, we have to do at least $1,000. But since we see this violation that was done before there, I give a $1,500 fine on Rule 4.051. On open containers, I give a $500 fine. And on the violation Rule 3.031 records, I give another $500 fine. 30 days to pay.
I concur with the chair. I do find violation of Rule 4.051, prohibiting of hours, violation of Rule 4.07, open container and illegal possessions of consumptions of alcohol beverages, and violation of Rule 3.03, records not being submitted. The first ruling is $1,500, the second ruling is $500, and the third ruling is $500, with a total of $2,500 with 30 days to pay.
I will also find you in violation of Rule 4.051, prohibited hours, on November the 9th, and impose a fine of also $1,500. A violation of Rule 4.071, open containers and illegal possession and consumption of alcoholic beverages on November the 9th, at an imposed fine of $500, as well as violation of Rule 3.031, mismanagement of your records on November the 9th, with an imposed fine of $500.
Ms. Russell.
Call exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, Violation Report Inspector Nazir. 2 through 5, exhibit photos.
You know who you need to talk to back there. Hopefully after this, you won't be back in front of us when you guys get things together. This should be the last time you're in front of us if you use the resources, okay? All right, good luck to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Best wishes.
Justin Hunt, Dream at Legacy Bar and Bistro LLC, trading as Dream at Legacy Bar and Bistro, 10 South Calvert Street, Class B, beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Rule 4.202B, specific requirements of prohibited activities by license type, on December 5th, 2025, failing to maintain food on premises as required by license type. Violation of Rule 3.02, cooperation, on December 5th, 2025, failing to cooperate with Captain Dawson of the Office of the Baltimore City Fire Marshal. Violation of Rule 3.051, alcohol awareness certification, on December 5th, 2025, failing to update the alcohol awareness certificate when given a 30-day warning to do so on October 4, 2025. And finally, violation of Rule 3.091, restroom facilities and health regulations, on December 5, 2025, having unsanitary bathroom facilities. Please come forward.
Mr. Kudinski,
For the record, Melvin J. Kaniski representing the licensee.
what are we doing today with this one?
I don't know that there's a lot of dispute. Most of this has to do with mitigation. And the only question I have is, the bathroom that you're looking at, was it on the down in the basement?
Is this an admission before you ask any
Let's
questions?
just let them testify. It's probably easier that way.
You want him to testify, your client to testify? Okay. Raise your right hand, please. Were you already sworn in? Okay.
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and tell us what happened.
Inspector Brown, Baltimore City Liquor Board. On December the 5th at approximately 9:30 p.m., I, Inspector Brown, Inspector Bass Myers, along with the Social Club Task Force consisting of members of the Baltimore City Fire Marshals and Baltimore City Housing Department, went to the establishment known as Dream at Legacy and Bistro located at 10 South Calvert Street. Upon entrance, we met manager Ryan Ramondo Rosario Bass, identified by his driver's license. We advised Mr. Bass, Rosario Bass, the reason we were there, and I advised I was conducting an inspection. I asked for all licensing, and he advised the person I need to speak to was on his way. I asked him for an invoice. While attempting to get the invoice, Fire Marshal Dawson was attempting to speak with Mr. Rosario Bass, and he began to ignore him and walk away. He was not trying to cooperate with Captain Dawson. When I went to the kitchen, the fridge had no food, nor was the kitchen operating. Manager Darius Williams arrived and stated he was trying to buy food but was unsuccessful due to the task force being at the establishment. I inspected the restrooms, and the restrooms were unsanitary, the ones on the bottom floor. I conducted an inspection on the second floor, which was in sanitary condition. Captain Dawson advised he was closing the establishment down for unsafe conditions. I advised Mr. Williams that a violation will be issued for non-cooperation, kitchen not operating, and unsanitary restrooms. The establishment was posted with a cease and desist notice from the fire marshal's office, and we left without incident.
Any questions?
Yeah, and with regard to Captain Dawson, is he supposed to be here today, or you don't know? Yeah. And you know what the violation was that he closed the place for?
He said unsafe conditions.
But you don't know what they were?
I don't.
And the place was open and operating while you were there?
No, they was opening for the night.
Right, so, and then the bathroom that you went to was in the lower level? Is that
Yes.
correct? Do you know if that was the place they used, the lower level, or was you just part of your inspection?
You checked the restrooms?
All of them?
Yes.
Yeah. And did they tell you they had a problem with their refrigeration, and that's the reason why they made food, and they were trying to go ahead and get new food? You make some mention of it here.
No, he told me that is his only refrigerator and that he was going to get food that night.
Right, so he was going to get food.
Yes, 9:30 at night.
You were questioning him at the same time. Captain Dawson was questioning him at the same time, is that correct?
No,
You didn't.
I didn't. I talked to him before Captain Dawson talked to
And
him,
then when did Captain Dawson talk?
right after I finished talking.
And then you don't know why Captain Dawson closed them.
He said for unsafe conditions, and it's still closed to this day.
And you don't know for the day?
Until this day, it's still closed from that night.
Okay. I have no further questions.
And that's the refrigerator right there in the bottom right
Yes.
quadrant right there?
Yes.
And that's how it looked on the date
Yes.
there? Nothing in it?
And then
What's that in there? I'm sorry. What's in,
He said that it was some food that the security was eating. That's what the gentleman told me.
in the top right?
That is there supposed to be fryer stove. It's right next to the burners.
Okay.
you're talking about this one on the upper right?
Yes.
It's a hot table, isn't it? You know what a hot table is? When they put hot water in and they put the shells in there to keep the food hot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the bathroom, is that what the bathroom looked like?
There's no toilet paper, no soap. The bathrooms were dirty.
And there was nobody in it?
Nobody was in it. They was opening for the night.
Okay. Any more questions?
None of it.
No other questions?
All right, let's state your name and address for the record, please.
Justin Hunt, 1110 Giddings Avenue, home address.
You have just recently taken over full ownership of this establishment, is that correct?
Correct.
And regarding the situation regarding the food, you had indicated to me that there was a problem with refrigeration, and you had to go out and get new food and get the refrigeration fixed, is that correct?
Correct. I have my invoices of food that was purchased that we had to throw it all away.
All right, and then when did you get the refrigeration fixed?
December the 15th.
And then in the meantime, when were you reopened after the cease and desist order?
We literally had just got every single thing that they were asking us to complete yesterday.
Okay. And then you have an alcohol awareness certificate, you showed it to
I
me, is
have
that correct?
5 of them.
So you can, we'll send them to the liquor board saying that they've been certified. And how much did it cost you to repair everything and get operational?
Totally upwards. Right now, we're sitting at right around 40,000.
And in the meantime, you were mentioning to me about the restroom facility in the basement there, that's an area they don't use, is that correct?
Yes, we don't use the restroom in the basement at all. And in terms of this first floor, we weren't using the first floor because it's actually under construction.
All right, and that was
Excuse me, I'm sorry. We're getting a message that folks cannot hear you, Mel. So if you could just get closer as you speak.
My wife says the same thing. So go ahead, your testimony.
I doubt that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, you guys at least get in front of the microphone. I guess you got to do a dance.
Yes, I'm sorry. The first floor was not in use and was not, if you would have been there that night, there was no furniture was displaced. There was no liquor on the first floor. We weren't using the first floor at all because we were actually doing like reconstruction, slowly but surely. So in terms of the bathrooms, they just weren't in use. But she did say upstairs the bathrooms were fully functional and in use because that's the floor we had been using.
All right, and then you're now functional with regard to the food operation, and you're fully functional with the food, is that correct?
Correct. We had a break-in, and actually some of the equipment that you see was stolen out, along with our sound system and other items that we have a police report and everything that was done. Somebody bust through the ceiling on the top floor and pretty much, you can just say, destroyed the club.
When did that happen?
I can get you the exact date, but it was,
Roughly.
I can get you the
It
exact.
was after this, though.
Correct. It was we had been closed from December the 5th, and in the process of us doing our repairs and everything, somebody broke in. I have pictures, video I can send to you now. Somebody came through the ceiling, bust through the ceiling, and stole pretty much most of the equipment you see in the kitchen. We had to replace everything, stole our sound system out. So all that had to be replaced, along with the additional repairs that were being done.
Okay, go ahead, Mr.
We do have a police report.
And in the meantime, that you were closed for a period of time while you were doing all this, so you can get operational, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you know what you have to do with regard to all the functional things with regard to having food at all times on the premises when the place is open, and have to have the restrooms in sanitary condition, is that correct?
Absolutely.
Have you had any further discussions with Captain Dawson since then, or?
Yes, we had been in communication up until literally this morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. We have been communicating back and forth. And when I say we put a lot of resources into getting everything repaired, so everything is literally the exact way he said. And literally as we were sitting here, he was at the venue doing his final inspection.
So he was at the establishment?
Correct.
Okay.
He's there literally right now.
And I think that at this point, there's been an explanation as to what the situation was at the time regarding the food operation not having the proper refrigeration, and everything happened after that. Regarding the alcohol awareness certificate, they have taken care of that. Regarding the restroom facilities, they've taken care of that, and they've spent a tremendous amount of money trying to get the place operational again, much to their credit. I think that it should be noteworthy that they've been suffered a lot because they were down and had a lot of their equipment stolen out of the place, which is a phenomenon that's not just unique to them. It happens in a lot of places, but I think they're up and going in the right direction at this point.
Okay. You said that you have invoices for the food?
He has them with him if you want them.
Yeah.
Might as well.
I mean, that would be good.
Chairman, I would like to see any documents you have regarding equipment that you have repurchased to be able to,
Give me what you have here. And I'll,
be in business.
Yeah, so I'm concerned with the kitchen. We've seen this over and over again. I just want to make sure that you get on the right page when it comes to making sure that you guys are providing food.
Well, the long-term goal, the reason why the first floor was closed is because we kind of like remodeling to make that pretty much a sit-down eatery versus more like it was before more of a lounge. But I'm looking to do an actual sit-down eatery. The total's on the back, and I could actually send you the PDF from Restaurant Depot if you need that.
How long you've been the owner?
I've just taken over as the sole owner as of August of this year. I had a partnership before. Things just didn't work out. The gentleman that she was referring to was never really official manager. He was more of a promoter for the venue. Mr. Williams, the one that Captain Dawson raved about, was as far as being as accommodating as possible. He was the actual manager, which I actually need to put him on the license as an official manager. But Mr. Bass or Mr. Rosario, they were promoters. They were just promoted certain nights and stuff like that. So if they weren't cooperative, I do apologize because they never should have been approaching you all anyway.
Inspector Brown, did you see any construction that night?
I did not.
You didn't?
But Mr. Darius Williams is always very respectful and helpful when I go in.
Okay. All right. And this is that an invoice or is that a list?
Chairman, this seems to be a list
If you
of
look on the back, it has
documents.
the total of everything.
But I'm looking for the actual receipt, and it's dated, if this is correct,
I can send it.
November the 6th, 2025.
That was the last
Food
major
purchases, but the inspection took place on December the 5th.
Correct. That was the last big purchase that we made. We stock up about once or twice a month. That was the last big purchase that we made.
Yeah, but you see there's no evidence of the big purchase in the kitchen. I just want you to
have
focus.
pictures
You want to see
of the food in the trash because we had to literally throw everything out, everything that we had left. Now, out of that, there was about maybe 30% that I had to waste. Out of that, as far as the actual food, and I'm not talking about of course, the juice and the Cokes and the pineapple and the cups and all that kind of stuff. But as far as the actual food, about 30% of it was actual waste.
Okay.
What about the seasonings and
All this
cooking?
is there. We have. I mean, if you go there now,
I don't
it's-
see it there in the kitchen, sir.
Oh, we have another prep kitchen. There's another prep kitchen. All most
Okay.
of that stuff is kept in. So the season.
Inspector Brown,
Still
did you
there.
see another kitchen
I didn't.
operation?
And when you try to go in the basement, is you can't. When you go down there, you can get hurt. So when you try to go down the basement, there's nothing down there either. And then you at the bar, they have alcohol at that bar.
So you didn't see no pots and pans?
No pots and pans, none of that.
Clean
No
up.
seasoning, no cleaning, no none of that.
Have you been back to the location after this?
I have not.
Okay. And Inspector Bass Myers, you haven't been either?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. You've talked to your client, though. It seems like you're trying to get things cleaned up. It seems like you're trying to get things in order. I understand when you have bad partnerships and employees that aren't doing the right thing, but we just want to make sure that he knows, because, this is one of the things that happens with these type of licenses where they really don't operate as a,
Restaurant business is a tough business, and when he has the problems with break-ins and all that, and setbacks,
it makes it even harder.
it makes it harder to get started again. But I think they're right on the right track at this point here. And if they went down there, make an appointment to leave down there, would you do that?
I'm not the inspector anymore, but one of the young ladies behind me can make a.
We definitely welcome it. And like I said, the plan is in the work is to basically move an operation that I'm already associated with to that establishment on the first floor. I have got a little bit more experience in that actual restaurant business, and we plan on moving operation downtown that I think will be very, very, very much so successful because it already is. It's already working operating model.
What do you think? Get some more information. What's the name of the place and where is it?
Urban Crab in Parkville.
Yeah.
Been able to pretty much learn a lot. And as I said, that my original goal is to bring that kind of operation there and function in similar capacity. So as far as the equipment list and stuff, I can have all that sent to whoever.
We would like to see it.
Yeah, I can get all the information
And you
over.
send the police report too. That would
Correct,
be-
correct. I get the police report.
Okay. Any other questions, Commissioners? No
questions.
Ready to move forward? You ready?
No.
Any questions?
More questions?
Okay. Based on the violation report, the testimony that was given today, proffer that was made by counsel, and any exhibits that were entered before and during this hearing, I do find a violation of Rule 4.202B, specific requirements and prohibited activities by license type. On that one, I give a $600 fine. On violation Rule 3.02, cooperation, find that there was a violation, $600 fine. Violation of Rule 3.051, alcohol awareness certification, $600 fine. And a violation of Rule 3.091, restroom facilities and health regulations, a $600 fine. So it's a $600 fine on all of those, 30 days to pay. Commissioners?
I concur with the chair. I do find violation of Rule 4.202B, specific requirements and prohibitive activities by license type, $600. Violation of Rule 3.02, cooperation on December the 5th, $600 fine. Violation of Rule 3.51, alcohol awareness certificate on December the 5th, $600 fine. And also violation of Rule 3.091, restroom facilities and health regulations on December the 5th, $600 fine with 30 days to pay.
I will also find you in violation of Rule 4.202B, specific requirements and prohibited activities, a license type, on December the 5th. Violation of Rule 3.02, cooperation, on December the 5th. Violation Rule 3.051, your alcohol awareness certification, on December 5th. Violation Rule 3.091, restroom and facilities and health regulations, on December the 5th, imposing a fine of $600 each, with 30 days to pay.
And I see you had violations, what, 2024? Were you involved in 2024? When the violation? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. In May, in January of that year, and then also back in 2021. So you're starting to get a little pattern of violations. I think that you're on the right track. Hopefully we won't see you here again, and work with your counsel. I think you'll be okay, okay? Ms. Russell?
Exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Inspector Brown. Exhibits 2 through 6, photos. 3, food invoices.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Francisco Gordino Maldonado, DARC LLC, trending as El Bar, 737 Carroll Street. Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license, violation of Rule 3.081B, sanitation and safety, on November 7, 2025. Patron smoking inside the establishment in violation of the Clean Indoor Air Act, violation of Rule 3.12, general welfare, on November 7, 2025, for loud music, violation of Rule 3.092, restroom facilities and health regulation, on November 7, 2025, violation of Baltimore City Health Code, Section 9-30621 low I. Violation of Rule 4.051, prohibited hours, on November 9, 2025, individuals consuming alcohol inside the establishment past 2 a.m. Violation of Rule 3.031, records, on November 9, 2025, failure to provide employee records. Please come forward.
Mr. Fogelman?
Good morning. Stephen W. Fogelman on behalf of the licensee Francisco Gordino Maldonado. I've received a text from Mr. Maldonado indicating that he has COVID-19 and he is unable to be here, and has given permission to Tony Cruz to appear before El Bar. That
Okay. Is it an admission, or is this?
It is an admission.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Can you read into record what happened?
Sure. I am here for the November 7th incident, which is on a Friday night at 10:45. Myself and Agent Todd Hope went to the location in response to 4 complaints received on the same day, but after shift had let out the night before. And they were for loud music, the door being open, just creating a disturbance outside. When we arrived, we found the door was open. The music was loud. We also observed somebody smoking inside since the door was open. And we spoke to Mr. Daniel Arce, and, he was compliant, and he said that the gentleman was smoking because it was raining outside, and we issued the violation without any issues.
Okay. And on the second violation, on November 9th, 2025?
Excuse me.
Good morning, Inspector Zain Nazir, Baltimore City Liquor Board. On November 9th, Agent Tudhope and I were patrolling the Southern Police District to identify establishments operating after hours. Approximately at 2:45 a.m., we noticed a group of people gathering outside the side entrance of El Bar. At that point, we parked our car in a nearby strip mall and observed the location and noticed people going in and out of El Bar through the side entrance. At that point, we just walked towards the establishment. Agent Tudhope looked through one of the windows, and we could clearly hear music coming from inside the establishment and see people walking around. At that point, we determined that I was going to attempt to make undercover entry inside the establishment. So I threw a hoodie on myself, knocked on the side door, which has this little black window covered up. And I could see someone uncover the window, look through, inspect me, open the door, and let me in. When I walked inside, I noticed about 12 people sitting around the bar with what appeared to be shot glasses in front of them. As I continued my observation, I saw at least 2 patrons drink out of a alcoholic canned seltzer. At that point, I had enough evidence to charge, so I walked back outside to discuss my observations with Agent Tudhope. At that point, we tried to gain re-entry into the establishment. We were denied, and while we tried, 2 additional people were let inside. As we discussed further plans outside, the whole group of people, including the manager, walked outside. Agent Tudhope inquired from the manager, "Why are you still open?" And he answered, "Well, we're not. These are all our employees." When we requested employee records, he admitted that no, only 2 of the patrons are employees. Everyone else is waiting for their Ubers. At this point, it was approximately 3 a.m. We, again, asked for employee records, which we were denied. At that point, we informed the manager that he would be receiving a violation for not showing employee records and operating after hours.
Anything further from you?
Oh, yes.
Yes, go ahead.
No questions.
No questions, but you want to go ahead and
No
mitigate.
questions. Just mitigate. Well, I guess I'll let you rule, but I'd like to be heard in mitigation, obviously.
Yes, in mitigation. That's it.
I'll be happy to do it now.
No. I just wanted to know, do you have any questions?
No question.
No questions? Okay. Yeah. Based on your admission that was made, the violation report, the testimony that was given today, and the proffer, or the admission would be the proffer, and exhibits that we have in today, I do find a violation of Rule 3.081B, Sanitation and Safety. On November 7th, 2025, I find a violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare, on November 7th, 2025. And I also find a violation of Rule 3.092, Restroom Facilities and Health Regulations, on November 7th, 2025. I also find a violation of Rule 4.051, Prohibited Hours, on November 9th, 2025, and a violation of Rule 3.031, Records, on November 9th, 2025. So that's 5. I issue a $250 fine on each of
Can I
all of them except.
Sorry.
You want to mitigate before I give?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I've got some good news, bad news, if you don't mind.
Yes,
I just
yes.
want to make sure you understand how serious the licensee is taking this situation.
And you understand on November 9th, 2025, one of the violations is there's a mandatory $1,000 fine on that one.
Yes, and I'd just like to be heard on,
go
that
ahead.
very quickly. It's difficult sometimes because obviously I'm an advocate as an attorney, but having been with this agency, I also know what's acceptable and what's unacceptable. And this is unacceptable. We've had violations 2:07 a.m. to 11 a.m. This is nearly 3 a.m. You'll note from the file that the service was not made until over 3 months after these offenses. That is when the licensee became aware of this activity that occurred in November. The manager was fired. You try to ameliorate a situation, you try to teach people, but this is a fireable offense. So that manager is gone. A new manager has been hired, but because he cannot start this weekend, the bar is voluntarily shuttering their doors this weekend in order to try to redeem some peace with the neighborhood. As you know, it's a very residential neighborhood. It faces many houses. Pigtown is a community that welcomes bars and nightlifes. And this establishment has a wonderful kitchen, and they want to try to encourage more food going forward. There was a lack of administration here that had to stop. This place, as you can see from the file, they're about to celebrate their 2-year anniversary with this liquor license. They had 20 months before this first violations, but they take it very seriously. I've been in touch with the landlord, the licensee, and they were shocked that the manager would not tell them about what happened for 3 months. So message is loudly and clearly received, and we thank you.
So you're saying the proper steps have been taken to make sure this doesn't happen again?
Well, I'm saying literally everything that this licensee can do to take these steps has been taken. And, I don't have a crystal ball, but I certainly, for this business's sake, I'm hoping that this will not happen again.
Well, Counsel, I would hope that you would tell the licensee that they need more eyes on their business. That seemed like a red flag to be 2 years with a new license, and the licensee doesn't know what's going on in his own establishment.
Well, he doesn't know what's going on at 2 a.m. is the issue. He's there, but not at 2 a.m. And for a manager to not inform his boss of this activity, I can't even comprehend that. That said, indeed, the licensee needs to and will be way more communicative and present, even if it means that he has to stay up to hours that I would never stay up that late. But yes, thank you, Commissioner.
The sliding little door, were you had to ask on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's not a speakeasy. Like if it's a speakeasy and that's part of the decor,
So I believe it's an old building. I mean, it
was already there. Is that what you're saying?
That's my understanding. That said, it should be a relic of the past, and there's no need
Unless it's part of the aesthetic.
There's no need for it unless you're open after hours.
Yeah.
So, yes, but I agree that has no purpose in 2026. And
It seems like it has a purpose.
yes, no legitimate purpose. My apologies.
Go ahead.
I just want to make the record clear. It is not a sliding door. If you take a look at the image on the right, if you see the dark blackout part, that is a clear window that is being covered up with a cloth.
Oh, so they moved the cloth.
So they
back.
removed the cloth. It's definitely man-made newly. So it's not an old school sliding door. It was purposely put there under my observation.
So I visited
Yeah,
the
Mr.
establishment.
Fogelman, the gentleman, his role with the business, your client, what is his role?
My
This gentleman
client.
here.
Oh, the gentleman here. He is the tenant. He is part of the LLC of Arce
Okay.
LLC. But yes, message.
So he has no managerial role. He does not work.
No, he has no managerial role with the place, but he is part of the LLC and the leaseholder, and has been in communication with the landlord. And the landlord has an excellent relationship with the neighbors. And so the good news is there's a lot of people who are on board to make sure that this situation doesn't happen again, because quite frankly, if it does, in addition to whatever penalties they may face with the liquor board, there could very well be eviction proceedings as well.
Okay, I'm ready to move forward with our ruling. Anything else?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
Well, and I'll wait to hear. Thank you.
Okay.
Point of clarification. Violation rule 3.031 was that 250 as well?
No, I haven't did the ruling on all of them yet.
Okay.
The first one, I was about to say 250, and even though the mitigation was great, I still believe on the smoking that 250 for the first violation, and I'll spell it out so that it's clear for the record. 3.081B, $250 is the fine for that one. On violation of Rule 3.12, general welfare, that one also is 250, but I do think on the violation of 3.092, the restroom facilities, $100 fine on that one. Those are all from November 7th, 2025. The next violation, it's a November 9th violation. It's a violation of Rule 4.051, prohibited hours. On that one, we have to do $1,000. The statute says it's the least that we can give on that one. A violation of Rule 3.031, records. On that one, a $250 fine. I believe that's all on the violations.
I concur with the chair on violation rule 3.081B, sanitation and safety, $250 fine. Violation of Rule 3.12, general welfare, $250. Violation of Rule 3092, restroom facilities and health regulation, violation of $100. Violation of Rule 4.051, prohibited hours, $1,000. And violation of Rule 3.01, records are not being submitted or requested at amount of $250.
Chairman, I would like to just have a statement before issuing my violation. Again, I would suggest that license holders take advantage of our training sessions so that they are clear on the rules and the regs for the license that they hold. And I would suggest to have something in writing with the community to make sure that you're not before us again.
Agreed. And look, I tell my clients, there's a couple ways to go, but protest of renewal season approacheth, and this kind of behavior and the communication, it needs to happen to prevent those kinds of things.
So I do concur with the Commissioner's violation of Rule 3.081B, sanitation and safety on November the 7th, imposing a fine of $250. I find you in violation of Rule 3.12, general welfare on November the 7th, imposing a fine of $250. Violation of Rule 3.092, restroom facilities and health regulations on November the 7th, imposing a fine of $100. Violation of Rule 4.051, prohibited hours on November the 9th, a mandatory of $1,000 fine. And a violation of Rule 3.031, your records on November the 9th, imposing a fine of $250.
Yeah, I mean, there was no history before this of any violations, and this is a total of $1,850, and you have 30 days to pay. But we keep saying the same thing over and over about using our resources, but we're really trying internally to make sure that we're not here on all these violations. So that's why we're saying take advantage of the knowledge and asking questions and learning how to make sure that you're not in this situation again. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
I applaud the board for that initiative.
They're working hard.
And I will do everything I can to make sure that the licensees, this licensee and my other clients, take advantage of these opportunities.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Ms. Russell.
Medical exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Inspector Nazir. Exhibits 2 through 3, photos. Exhibit 4, violation report, Inspector Jordan.
Thank you. All right, good luck.
Thank you. And staff at the back have the flyers for the classes if you want to grab one.
Thank you very much.
Max Dalton and Justin Haney, Ultra Lounge LLC, trading as Mirage, 401 West Baltimore Street, Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Rule 3.081B, sanitation and safety on November 7, 2025. Lit hookahs and individuals smoking a cigarette inside the establishment in violation of the Clean Indoor Air Act. Please come forward.
Good morning again.
Melvin J. Gdański representing the licensee.
Mission
Well, you know,
or
Or you going to say you're saying?
interesting question. We were here in November. We went into the
did you get a shirt with that on it?
but it's on the back, inside out. At that time, when the inspector was serving the summons for that, this occurred, and in fact, she had made mention of it. I'd like to consider it some sort of collateral estoppel in this case because it was already brought up in the other case. However, this did occur, and can give you some other. Thankfully, it's just the one, although it would all be the same as they had before. And there seems to be a dispute here because they've been talking with Captain Dawson about electronic hookah. I think you're saying no, but he's telling them yes. But I think he ought to. This is not electronic hookah. Believe me, it's not. But I'm telling you, that's what he's been telling them.
And just for the record, and I'm happy to have a conversation offline about this, Mr. Gdański, last year, the Clean Indoor Air Act was amended to include all electronic smoking devices.
Well, then maybe Captain Dawson doesn't know. But in what they've done in the meantime, they were removing it. It was an employee smoking. It makes no difference as to who was smoking in the case. As you mentioned the last time we were here, they put up all the signs and so forth. It just so happens when she was serving that summons, it was occurring at that time. I mentioned to the licensee and the manager here, and I think we solved that problem. The electronic hookah, they'll have to get with Captain Dawson. He had showed me something where he'd send them something, but they have no hookah there now. No hookah, no smoking. They have the signs all up.
Okay, so when they were going in, you're saying that's when the violation, you said collateral estoppel as if this was
Because we had argued that the last time we were here.
okay.
You know, I think
that's not-
it's a good argument. You don't think so?
No, I like it. I just wanted you to expound on that. If it
Yeah,
was on the
because that
same
would-
day and not charged with it, I could see that.
From the testimony that was given in front of the board at the time of the last hearing,
There was mention of it.
while she was there even serving the summons, she observed this. So we took it in sum and substance of the entire argument, the last
I like how you did that.
to be included.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's going to use that on off hours.
Tell us what happened on that day.
Agent Tudhope, Baltimore City Liquor Board. On November 7th, 2025, at approximately 9:36 p.m., I, Agent Tudhope, along with Inspector Jordan, Captain Dawson from the Fire Marshal's Office, and a housing inspector, delivered a summons to the establishment known as Mirage, located at 401 Baltimore Street. Upon entering the establishment, I observed a male smoking what appeared to be a cigarette. Upon noticing my presence, the individual immediately extinguished the cigarette, grabbed 2 hookahs, and walked to the kitchen area behind the bar. I instructed the individual to stop. He ignored my direction and continued towards the back. Upon entering the bar area, I observed a hookah placed on the ground near the kitchen door. I questioned the same individual about where the hookah that he had carried away were located, noting the potential fire hazard, but he denied that the hookah was there and that anyone was smoking inside. Captain Dawson and I made contact with the operator, Mr. Nagusin. Mr. Nagusin was served the summons, and I advised him I would also be issuing additional violations for the smoking that I had just witnessed inside. Captain Dawson also issued a citation for the same offense, and we left the establishment without further incident.
Okay.
At the time, just real brief, at the time you were doing that, you were issuing a citation for another event that took place for the hearing in November, and then you issued the subsequent, correct?
Yeah, I went there to deliver a summons for smoking
That's what-
indoor, and then he was smoking indoor.
But I think they've got it together, and if Captain Dawson wants to get together with the board, I mean, hookah's hookah to me. I don't participate, but, you know, we'll maybe get to the bottom of that. And I can have him tell you about that, but I think that doesn't go to this violation. Okay.
Okay. That's it. Any questions, commissioners?
No questions.
Any questions?
No. I'm just looking at, again, the.
You had one.
Yeah, well.
You good?
I'm good, but they need to stop.
Either
Point
that or,
blank.
either that or legitimize hookah.
Exactly.
You know, and
Get a license.
They legitimize marijuana, and now they change the name of your commission, and they put cannabis in it, and maybe they'll do hookah, you know. But it is what it is now, and they post it, and it's a rather large place. And I think they've cut care.
It just gets to the point where it seems like they're thumbing their nose up at the system at this point. That's the only problem. It seems like they're trying to get everything together, and I appreciate you guys working with your attorney, but you getting chance after chance after chance. But it's one violation. I heard your argument on the
Collateral estoppel.
collateral estoppel. I do think
He
that
likes that. He's going to use it again.
I do think that this was a separate incident that happened, and it just so happened to be when they were getting served with the other violation. So, although it was creative, I don't think that it applies in this situation. I do find, based on the violation report, the testimony that was given today, proper that that was made and done today, I do find a violation of Rule 3.081B, sanitation and safety, on November 7, 2025. I do issue a $350 fine with 30 days of pay because of what you said on the record. And I think they are trying to get things together. Yeah.
I concur with the chair. I do find violation of Rule 3081B, sanitation and safety, on November the 7th, and I impose a fine of $350 as well.
You have violated Rule 3.081B, sanitation and safety, on November the 7th, 2025. I will impose the fine of, you said $300?
$350. But just letting you know, this is like a free pass pretty much for you guys. It is a violation, it is a fine, a small fine, but we just want to see you back in here, okay? Ms. Russell?
I call exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Inspector Tudhope. Exhibit number 2, photos.
Thank you, Attorney.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. I apologize in advance if I mispronounce someone's name in the next case. Sabata Bailas Panta and Prabhat Young Thapa, Sarakshia LLC, trading as Sweet Carolina Liquor, 309 South Broadway, Class A, beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare, on November 19, 2025, selling miniature liquor bottles, single beers, and malt beverages in violation of the MOU with Upper Fells Point Improvement Association. Violation of Rule 4.171, storage on November 19, 2025, storing alcohol at a location that is not the licensed premises. Violation of Rule 3.031, records on November 19, 2025, failure to provide employee records. And finally, violation of Rule 3.12, general welfare, on December 10, 2025, selling miniature liquor bottles, single beers, and malt beverages in violation of the MOU with Upper Fells Point Improvement Association. Please.
Once again, for the record, Melvin J. Kaninsky, representing the licensee.
Are we proceeding?
Let's let them read the report. Probably it's the easiest way, because we have some arguments about the enforceability of the MOU. Some of the community is here, some of the community is there. This will be a community event.
Great, go ahead.
November 19th, I'm sorry, Agent Perez, Baltimore City Liquor Board. On November 19th, 2025, I responded to 311 complaint at the establishment known as Sweet Carolina, 309 South Broadway. The allegations were that the establishment was engaging in the sales of single beers. At the time of arrival, 8:40 p.m., I began to conduct.
Can you pause for a second? I'm sorry. We have a translator here.
Yeah, he's talking.
Does he need to be sworn in that he's going to testify as to?
I guess if they're going to testify, if he's just communicating back and forth his understanding, then that's.
Well, or sworn in that this translation is, we've done it accurate. Yeah.
I can certainly do that, yeah.
We step up.
Mr. Chair, should we swear in all of the folks just in case?
Yeah.
'Cause I know there's
So you're right, but this is a different swearing in for just the, no, you should though, but just for the interpreter to make sure that the interpretation is done.
Yes. Can the person who is interpreting, can you state and spell your name?
Kiran, K-I-R-A-N, Kiran.
Can you go to the microphone so that everybody can hear it? This is all recorded.
Kiran, Kiran, that's the first name. Last name is Pantha, Pantha, Nepali code interpreter.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm that you will translate and interpret to the best of your ability the testimony of Mr.
Subodh.
Yes, do you swear and affirm that you will do that?
I do. For the record, Kiran Pantha, Nepali code interpreter.
Thank
Your
you.
official interpreter for the
Yes.
Nepali court.
Yes. And can everyone else who's going to testify stand up and raise your hand, please? Right hand.
Were you going to testify? Everybody has their hands raised? Okay. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay. Thank you. Go ahead. I'm sorry for that.
I arrived at the establishment at about 8:40 p.m. And for about 10 minutes, just observed the exterior of the establishment. At about 8:52 p.m., an individual named Shrestha Rojal walked out of the establishment pushing a hand truck. He proceeded into the interior of the adjacent property, 311 South Broadway. A short moment later, he came out pushing the hand truck with approximately 6 cases of beer and transported those beer into the licensed establishment. At about 8:55 p.m., I entered the establishment in an undercover capacity and attempted to make a purchase of a single beer. I selected a 24-ounce can of Corona beer and successfully made the purchase. After making the purchase, I identified myself as a liquor board agent and advised the cashier of the MOU violation. I requested to see employee records or identification for reporting purposes, and at this time, the cashier refused and walked away. He claimed that he was not an employee of the establishment and was only covering from his uncle. There were other 2 individuals working in an area accessible only to employees. One was operating a computer terminal, and the other individual was the same individual coming out that was observed coming out of 311 South Broadway. He was stocking the beers. All 3 individuals were very uncooperative. Due to the lack of cooperation, I requested a pause on sales and demanded that the person in charge of the establishment be present. At this time, I was told just to wait a few moments until he arrived. At about 9:20 p.m., Mr. Pantat arrived at the location. I informed him of the 311 complaint, the sale and purchase of the single beer, and also advised him of the violation of storing alcohol outside of the licensed premises. Mr. Pantat confirmed that the individuals at the establishment were his relative, and they assist him from time to time. He also stated that they reside on the 2nd floor apartment above the establishment, and at this time, Mr. Pantat instructed them that it was okay to produce identification for reporting purposes. At this time, there was nothing further to report and left the establishment without any further issues.
Any questions, Mr. Kudusky?
Yeah, when you went there, the individuals eventually gave you Nepalese passports, right?
That is correct. 2 of them.
And then the third one had a Maryland ID?
That's correct.
And did you talk them in English or Nepalese?
English.
All right. But did you realize they weren't Nepalese?
Yes.
And when Mr. Panther came, who was here, you spoke to him in English, is that correct?
That's correct.
And the licensed premises is 309?
Yes.
He also owns 311?
According to his statement that evening, yes.
Okay, so that's a building that he owns, although it's not listed on the license of the store.
That is correct.
And regarding your testimony regarding the MOU, you had no part in the MOU, is that correct?
Repeat the question one more time.
In the MOU, you.
They can't hear you again.
It's a story here. Tell her director in the back there, he's got to get those mics. On, regarding the MOU, you had no part in the MOU, is that correct?
No.
And did you ever read it to Mr. Panther at all, the MOU?
I provided a copy on a prior occasion.
In English?
In English.
I have no further questions.
No other questions? So you spoke in English to them. You said they were uncooperative. You can tell if they're cooperative, if they understand what you were saying. Let me start with that. They did?
They were very fluent in it.
Were the responses in English to you?
Yes.
Okay. And you can tell that they weren't trying to adhere to the things that you were saying in the direction that you were given?
No.
Not at all? Okay. Any questions before we move on to the next one? No questions right now? No questions right now?
No questions right now.
I have further testimony on the second violation. There was two separate dates.
Before, you're talking about the second violation or the second day?
There's one for November 19th and December 10th.
Okay. And everything you testified to was on November 19th, correct?
Yes.
All right. Before we get to the December 10th date, we have other people here from the community on this one. Are you here for this date, the 19th date, or on December 10th? Raise up, stand up, please. For both? Okay. Do you have something to say on the November 19th violation? You have to get. Yeah, you get in front of the mic first, please, and state your name for the record.
My name is Mark Hoffman. I'm here on behalf of the Upper Fells Point Improvement Association, and the statement I'm making is in regards to both violations on both dates.
On both dates? Okay. Then we can wait until we hear the other violation, and then you can give your statement, okay? Thank you. You can proceed on the December 10th, 2025 date.
On December 10th,
Well, for the sake of, I'll make an admission as to what he said there is right. It's the same as second verse, same as the first, with regard to the M violation, the MOU, with the single miniatures and so forth. Our argument has to do with the MOU. We'll agree that that's what he saw when he came in.
Okay. All right. And but you're not making an admission for this one. You're just agreeing to the statement as stated.
When he saw, our question is the validity of the MOU for the record, as to the sense it is enforceable by law.
Okay. Are you going to ask any questions? If you're going to ask questions, I do need him to just put the statement on the record.
Questions to the inspector now.
Okay. All right. I believe he still needs to put on the record.
Yeah, and that's fine. And just, Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Gudensky, you had appealed and went to the court to get confirmation for the court to determine as to whether or not the MOU was enforceable, and they said yes.
Well, it was whether or not there was a violation, not whether it was enforceable. I don't have the exact wording on it, but we did file an appeal in a prior case. That's correct.
All right.
And we lost.
Yeah. For the record, I would like you to put the record in for the December 10, 2025 violation.
on December 10th, I responded to another 311 complaint with the same allegations that the establishment was engaging in the sale of single beers in violation of the MOU between the establishment and the Upper Fells Point Improvement Association. At this time, we arrived at approximately 4 or 5 p.m. On this occasion, I was working with Agent Hope and Inspector Jordan. We observed multiple individuals walking out of the establishment carrying what appeared to be single candy beers. At approximately 4:08 p.m., Inspector Jordan entered the establishment in an undercover capacity to attempt to purchase a prohibited item, either a single beer or miniature liquor bottle. At approximately 4:14 p.m., Inspector Jordan exited the establishment holding a 25-ounce Stellat canned beer that she had purchased for a total of $3.75 using a departmental $20 bill. Agent Hope and I then entered the establishment and advised the store clerk, Mr. Tresta Rojal, of the violation. During a routine inspection of the establishment, we observed multiple miniature liquor bottles displayed for sale near the register. Additional boxes containing numerous miniature liquor bottles were observed directly below the register. A review of liquor invoices confirmed a consistent purchase of these items from the distributor Breakthrough. The most recent purchase was dated December 5th, 2025. After the conclusion of the inspection and investigation, the $20 bill was recovered, the change and the product were returned to the establishment, and we advised Mr. Rojal of the violations observed.
Any questions?
Yeah, just under the law with that license itself, they're legally can sell miniatures and single cans of beer. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So your complaint, you know who you got your complaint from?
I believe it was Mr. Hoffman.
Mr. Who?
Hoffman,
And he's here today.
yes.
Okay. And you were there as a result of the complaint, not because they can legally sell it. They were under, according to you, MOU restriction. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, I have no further questions.
You want to come up and speak, please? You can come up and speak now.
Thank you. As I mentioned, good afternoon, Chairman Templeton and members of the board. My name is Mark Hoffman, and I'm speaking today on behalf of the Upper Fells Point Improvement Association. We are here because Sweet Carolina Liquors has once again demonstrated a pattern of disregard for both the law and for the community that surrounds it. The violations before you today are deliberate, they are repeated, and escalating breaches of rules that this board has already addressed with this licensee in the past. In October of 2024, this establishment was fined for violating Rule 3.12, the General Welfare Rule. Before that, in 2023, they were cited for selling alcohol to a minor. These are not isolated incidences. Together with what we see in November 19th and December 10th, 2025 investigations, they form a clear pattern. Your inspectors documented systematic violation of the Memorandum of Understanding with our association, not once, but twice in less than a month, through the sale of miniature liquor bottles, sale of single beers, and single malt beverages. Off-premises storage of alcohol at 311 South Broadway, a completely separate property, used as an unlicensed warehouse. Failure to maintain required employee records, individuals working behind the counter who denied being employees, refused to provide identification, and attempted to evade accountability. Consistent pattern of sale of miniatures, even though the MOU explicitly prohibits their sale. These are not mistakes. These are choices that this establishment continues to make. And these choices have real consequences for the people who live here. The sale of single beers and miniatures directly fuels public drinking, loitering, disorder, and the erosion of safety in our neighborhood. Our residents, families, seniors, and longtime homeowners are the ones who deal with the fallout every day. We negotiated the MOU in good faith to reduce these harms. Sweet Carolina Liquor has chosen to ignore it. When a licensee repeatedly violates the same community protection agreement and then compounds those violations with illegal storage and failure to maintain employee records, it becomes clear that fines at the lower end of the scale have not been effective. We are asking the board to impose fines commensurate with each violation. We ask this because the community deserves meaningful enforcement. The board's rules exist to protect neighborhoods like ours, and they are only work when licensees understand that compliance is not optional. Sweet Carolina Liquors has shown through repeated violations, evasive behavior, and disregard for both law and community that lesser penalties do not deter them. On behalf of the Upper Fells Point Improvement Association, we urge the board to act decisively to protect the peace, safety, and welfare of our neighborhood. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. Thank you.
I just asked you a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
Are you a customer there?
Did you get the question?
Of
the establishment?
No, I am not.
All right. And when it came time for, you saying we, was this put to be a vote before the whole community?
Please clarify
You're
what
saying we, you're talking, we are here, there's other members of the community here. Are you talking for them?
Yes, I represent the Upper Fells Point Community Association as the land use chairman. I'm appointed by the president of the Upper Fells Point Community Association, which is tasked with appointing committee chairs to each committee. Our association is bounded by South Broadway, East Lombard Street, South Washington Street, and Eastern Avenue. We distribute roughly 1,200 newsletters to residents across the neighborhood monthly. We hold monthly land use meetings on the first Monday of the month. We hold community association meetings on the second Monday of each month, at which are attended by upwards of 60 to 70 residents in the neighborhood, both
The
in
question was
person
this
and
put to a vote?
online.
I think, I'm just asking, was this put to a vote before the whole community group?
Yes, the MOU was.
No, I'm not talking about this, about you being here to speak.
The Land Use Committee is authorized to make statements for the
How many members of the
Community
Land Use
Association. Our Land Use Committee has approximately 30 people on our email list, and we have regularly 8 people that attend our monthly land use meetings. And we welcome residents to make statements at our land use meetings at each monthly Community Association meeting.
How many people belong to your community group?
How many belong to
Yeah, how many
Upper
members
Fells
are of the
Point
community group, right?
Improvement Association? Currently speaking, there are 115 paid dues members in the Community Association and many members that will probably pay within the course of the year. We hold regular
You say it's
activities
about
in the
115.
neighborhood.
Is that correct?
Pardon me?
About 115.
115 members that have paid their dues so far this year,
And
which
your
are
area-
eligible to vote based on their attendance at meetings. And we do have attendance requirements to be a voting member.
One at a time for the record.
When was the last time you had a meeting?
For
When was
which
the last
type
time
of
you had a
meeting? Which type of meeting are
Any
you?
kind of meeting?
We have monthly meetings on the first of each month and for the Land Use Committee, and we have monthly meetings for the entire Community Association on the second Monday of each month.
Were you present when the MOU was negotiated?
Yes.
Who was the president when it was negotiated?
Ben Miller is the acting president of the Upper Fells Point Improvement Association.
At the time that it was negotiated?
Yes.
And then, are there individuals in the community that disagree with that MOU?
Everyone in the Community Association and Land Use Committee is able to communicate any positives or negatives that they believe on any issue. So we have regular debates about all the activities within the neighborhood. Anything that's up for a vote in the neighborhood is required to be posted in the newsletter 1 month prior to any vote by the Community Association.
But you're saying that all members of the community agree with the MOU, there's none that disagree with it. Is that what you're trying to say?
I can't answer for all the members of the Community Association as to how they voted on a particular vote, but I'm sure that our parliamentarian could do that if we were to, if it was needed to do that.
Yeah, but you have records.
I'm not sure I understand your line of,
You have records of the vote that was taken on the MOU. That's all I want to know.
with me, no.
Yeah.
And you weren't there when you negotiated.
I don't, the MOU isn't being challenged here.
I'm just
The
asking
MOU
a question.
stands
I hear
as
you.
it
We
is.
do understand that each part of the organization and that everyone in the organization may not be on the same page, and I understand your argument's going, but
I have no further questions of this witness.
okay. But you can ask your questions.
No,
But we do understand that.
I've got, one witness has to get back to her job.
Okay.
Put her on.
Thank you for coming and thank you for testifying. I appreciate it.
You want to step up because you know you have to be.
Yeah, I have to be.
That's, state your name and address.
Hi, my address too, it's Wendy Bozell. Do you need my address too? Bozel.
And you're part of the community group, is that right?
Yeah, I'm part of the community group.
And when this MOU.
Excuse me, which community group is it?
It's Upper Fells Point Improvement Association.
Thank you.
And I basically just want to say I was in the beginning when the MOU was negotiated. And I just wanted to say that it was my impression that it wouldn't go in effect until he got a 7-day license. And I think that's what Mr. Panta thought too. And I just wanted to put that in there because I kind of feel responsible for what it's come to now.
So do you think that Mr. Panther understood exactly the terms of the MOU, or was there?
He understood the MOU, but he kind of told me he could afford to do that if he got a 7-day license and was open on a Sunday.
So it's your testimony that that was conditioned upon getting the BD7?
Right, right.
And what was your function with the community group at that time?
When I started the negotiation, I was the president of the association, but then I had to step down because I ran for mayor, and Ben finished the negotiation, but I was there when he signed it.
Does the board have any questions?
So your understanding was that this MOU wouldn't take effect, that this MOU wouldn't take effect until there was a 7-day license?
Correct, yeah.
And that
That was the whole reason why the MOU was negotiated, so that he could get the support of the community to have a 7-day license.
With the, I don't want to jump in, but the agreement said if he got a BD7, they would support him changing it to an A7. Is that correct?
Right, if he followed the MOU.
Okay. And you have the MOU in front of you, Kudinski?
I know it's part of the record, though.
It's part of the record. I have it right here, because that's part of your argument. You want to go ahead and ask your question?
Yeah, well, you currently have a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. And he did sign the agreement stating the BD7 license.
Right.
What is in section 17? Entirety of agreement, that portion.
Yes. This agreement represents the entirety of the understanding of the parties. And at that time, if he signed his, this agreement and he did not have an interpreter or legal counsel, why did he sign it?
Right, that's
why we're here today.
all I think. He believed me.
Okay. All right, I have no other questions for you. Any questions for her?
Excuse the witness.
Yes, you can.
I don't have anything further.
You don't have any other witnesses? Okay. So your argument, though, is that there's an agreement, but the thought process was that this agreement would not be in effect until something else happened, but it's not, that's not in the agreement, is it?
It says, if you read the preambles in 2 or 3 places, it indicates that it's premised. It doesn't mention A in there. It mentioned BD7 and A7, none of which applies in this case because he only has an A license. And I think there was my argument is there was, from talking to Ms. Bozell, it was a language problem.
Yeah.
If I would have been involved,
It would have been different.
I would hope so. I don't speak Nepalese, but I would get somebody in there. So when doing, because the license itself allows the sale of all those products. He was trying to get the community to agree that if he would get a BD7 and make it an A7, which would give him a 7-day liquor store, then he would agree to those terms. That never occurred.
Yeah, I understand, but contract language and having issues understanding because of the language of the licensee, those are two different things. And I hear what you're saying, though. There are references in there, and even here, the parties acknowledge that this agreement. I'm looking at section I think this is 17 entirety of the agreements. The parties acknowledge that this agreement is part and parcel of the support of the undersigned community organization for the acquisition of a BD7 license at 309 South Broadway, Baltimore. So it's hinting at different things. It's hinting at that this is part and parcel of it, but it's not saying that
And I think
that
what
it's
you're
unnecessary.
saying, you talk about consideration, usually in contractually, you always talk in basics, offer plus acceptance and consideration equal. In this case here, the consideration was definitely a BD7A7. There's no mention of A in there at all.
Yeah, no mention of that.
And I know that there's various members of the community here that agree otherwise, Ms. Bozell, when she was the president. And somewhere along the line, it's going to have to be reckoned with, but that's our argument at this point. the question is if there was not sufficient consideration under law, whether or not it could be enforceable when the license allows them to sell each one of those items.
Okay, so I understand your argument on that. Let's take a step back. You have something before I take the step back?
I don't know. There is a part of the story that is not being accurately conveyed, though. This MOU was put on the record and made a part of this particular license during renewal. And the law allows for it to occur either when a license is being issued or transferred or during renewals because there is then consideration. We did not print out that email thread because we thought that particular issue was put to bed. We should have, and I apologize.
So my step back does discuss that issue. Let's not look. Let's not look at
never took place. If somebody says to you, "I'll sell you my car for $500," and you give me the $500, I never give you the car, so that's okay. That's the argument.
That's the argument.
There's some give and take, but if you say, "I'm giving you this," if for a BD7 to A7, you never get the BD and A7. Well, what's the point?
But it needs to say that also in the agreement, though. It needs to say that I'm only doing this if that happens. That's easy to.
It does say that.
That's not the way that.
Well, and I asked for, I guess, to me that be made part of the record if we can.
Do you want to look at it and show me where you're saying it, where it says that? It's fine. But while you're doing that, do you agree that this MOU was that your client did agree to the MOU during the renewal period? You agree? You agree with that first, right?
I'm sorry.
That your client did agree to this MOU.
Well, he signed it. The question was, he understood what he was signing at the time.
The second part of my question is, is your argument that he did not understand that he was agreeing not to sell miniatures or single beers?
He got an acquisition of a BD7 and made it A7. If you go the entirety of the agreement and you go to the beginning part, the beginning of the preambles, it is in addition to being able to get a BD7 into A7.
Okay, your client didn't testify, so you're saying he did understand that if that happened, he couldn't or would not sell the miniatures or singles.
So I don't know what he understood.
Or malt.
That's my problem.
Okay, yeah. I guess how are we going to understand if you don't?
Well, he doesn't. I'm saying that's why he has an interpreter. So I'm not sure he has.
But he's right here to
keep on understanding.
You don't have to put a witness on. It's your case to put on. But you're telling me that you don't understand, and you're asking us to understand what happened. You understand what I'm?
Yeah.
Do we understand anything at this point? Do you have any more evidence to put on, or any other witnesses to put on?
We would submit them at that point. But although I would say there's a move afoot to have, I won't give it straight back to you, that amended within the community, but so far there's no understanding exactly where it's going to go, and we have a small group that is inhibiting what otherwise would be sold by a client in another liquor store right down the street. So it's really hurting him. He had a transfer pending that had to be canceled because of one of those various reasons.
Okay. At this point, the last thing I want to ask, does your client now know that he cannot sell? Let me take a step back, because your argument is that there's no consideration he can do what he wants to do. Is that your argument?
My argument is that he normally would be, as a Class A, be able to sell whatever a Class A allows you to sell. If there's an agreement to do otherwise, wants to talk about chemical wines and so forth, that's a little different. But the agreement would be if, in consideration of the license to be made a 7-day, he would then not agree to have no miniatures and so forth. That never happened.
So what are you advising your client now? That he can or that he shouldn't?
The board rules, if you agree with me, I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hard to get along with. I know they're in the process of talking with the community. As you may well know, that there's differences of opinions in any community. Some of the people that are here for, and you have the land use committee, and so forth there.
Now, you said they're talking to the community. Is this MOU going to be amended with, or, okay, that's what the attempt is. Okay, no more questions for me. Any questions, commissioners?
I have a question about the storage, the issue of the storage. You said that he owned the building where he's storing.
Store off premises if you get a permit from the controller's office.
Do you have that permit?
What
So,
happened is he owned 309, he bought 311. They're in the process of doing a consolidation to make it one, although it wouldn't be, the license wouldn't go there. And he just jumped the gun and was using, there for his storage. It's not there. He's removed out of 311.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any questions in light of those comments? Okay. Thank you very much, counsel. Ready to make our ruling on the case? Based on the violation report, the testimony that was given today, the proffer made by counsel, the evidence that's been entered in this case, I do find a violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare, on November 19, 2025. $1,000 is the fine. I do find a violation of Rule 4.171, Storage. On November 19, 2025, you said that nothing's in that location anymore? Yeah, so $500 fine for that violation. Violation of Rule 3.031, Records. You said he's rectified that issue with the records. Yes, $250 fine. And that was on November 19, 2025. I do find a violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare, on December 10, 2025, and a $1,000 fine for that violation, 30 days to pay on all of the violations.
I concur with the chair on violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare, on November the 19th, $1,000. Violation of Rule 4.17, storage, on November 19th, impose a fine of $500. On violation 3.31, rules and records, $250. Violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare, on December the 10th, the amount of $1,000 with 30 days to pay.
I've also found you in violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare, on November 19th, imposing a fine of $1,000. A violation of Rule 4.171, Storage, on November the 19th, and impose a fine of $500. Violation of Rule 3.031, Records, on November the 19th, imposing a fine of $250. And violation of Rule 3.12, General Welfare, on December the 10th, imposing a fine of $1,000.
See, I know your client
30
sees.
days to pay.
I'm sorry, I jumped the gun. I see your client, well, this is though at the third violation now. You see how the fines keep creeping up and up and up each time. I know you're going to talk to him about.
I think I'm going to file a declaratory action on this, but I'm not doing it. I'm too old to do litigation. Young guys can do it.
Ms. Russell.
Medical exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Agent Perez. 2 through 5, photos. 6, violation report, Agent Perez. 7 through 12, photos. And 13, MOU.
Thank you for your lively argument.
Final case of the day, Tyra Anderson and Taisha Nicole Smith, Ty Smith, Inc., trading as Truth Lounge 2, 4507 through 09 Bel Air Road, Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Maryland Code Alcoholic Beverages and Cannabis Articles 12, Section 12-2007A, after hours activity prohibited in licensed premises on October 18, 2025, engaging in after hours activity.
Say your name for the record.
Taisha Smith.
Taisha Smith. And I saw that you already were sworn in when you were in the back of the room.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you admitting to the violation, or you want a contested hearing?
I really don't know how to answer that. I've been sitting here listening to all these cases and stuff like that, but I would just say that I would like to explain?
You can admit and explain at the end, or you
That's
can,
like a guilty thing, or like, can you explain?
if you want to equate it to a guilty plea, you can
I
say.
don't want to say that.
You just
but-
said, but you can admit and say, yes, I did violate, like in this case right here, I did violate the after hours prohibited license, but I want to explain what happened, and then we can decide. Or you can say, I want them to prove their case, and we can make a decision on whether or not we think you violated.
Let's do that one.
Okay, so you want to have a contested hearing. Okay,
Whatever
that's
you
fine.
wanna say.
Yes, that's what you want to do. All right, go ahead and tell us what happened on that day, please.
Agent Perez, Baltimore City Liquor Board. On October 18th, 2025, working alongside Inspector Brown and Chief Inspector McGinnis and the assistant of the Baltimore City Sheriff's Office Neighborhood Services Unit, we investigated an anonymous complaint that the establishment was operating after mandated closing hours. We arrived at the establishment at about 3 a.m. and positioned ourselves at a covered location away from the establishment. From that location, we could see at the front entrance, we observed several individuals entering and exiting the location. Based on my training and experience, this indicated that the establishment appeared to be open and operating. This information was relayed to the rest of the team, and at about 3:09 a.m., we approached the front entrance to gain entry. The bouncer, after noticing our presence, he locked the front door. This prevented us from immediately entering the location. After repeated attempts to gain compliance, the security staff eventually unlocked the door, and we were then permitted entry. Once inside the establishment, we observed over 15 individuals, some of them which were holding beer bottles to include Heineken and Corona. Several individuals were actively consuming alcoholic beverages. That the establishment appeared to be fully operational at the time. We identified the person in control of the establishment, Ms. Taisha Smith. She was instructed to immediately clear the establishment from all patrons. She immediately complied. All patients were cleared from the premises, and she was advised of the violation. We departed the location after we ensured compliance. Nothing further to report.
Do you have any questions for Agent Perez?
So, when you say
Speaking to the mic, just make sure
when you
speak up.
say like notified, like anonymous, could you tell me that? I mean, can you tell me
It
that?
was an anonymous complaint that we received.
You can tell me. No, that doesn't matter. Who
You can
or
ask your
what.
question.
Yeah. Can you tell me who?
We didn't have a name. It was anonymous.
Okay, so can I explain what happened? Is that possible?
You'll have your chance to explain,
Okay.
but this is just the time that
Ask
if you have
him a
any
question.
questions, you can ask them questions, and then you'll have your time to explain after this. Yeah.
So, I'm gonna try my best. So when you guys come in, right, at this particular time, I think I was here at that time, right? I think I got there like 2:30. So yeah, I was there. Y'all come in there a lot, and every time you guys come in, anything you ask me to do I do it?
Repeat the question.
She said anytime you ask her to,
Yeah, they
you guys come in a
they-
lot. If she's requested
In
to do
compliance.
something, does she do it every time? That's just what she's asking.
Yeah, that is correct. But I believe this was our very first attempt for an after-hours check.
Okay.
So with the after hour, I did comply with everything you asked me to do when I think I talked to you.
You did.
All right. I think that's all I have, but then I would like to explain.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else? No? Nothing for you guys?
Oh, one more thing,
More question?
please.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know if this is relevant, but all my license is in compliance.
Yes.
Okay. That's it.
Okay, that's good. Any questions for?
I would like to know that.
No questions for the inspector?
No questions for the inspector.
Okay, go ahead. It's your turn now. You can tell us what happened.
Okay, so I was aware that it was a birthday party operating after hours, I got there. I normally try to get there if I'm still not at work. I'll come there to collect money and pay the people that work for me. So this particular time when I did come in, it was people upstairs. However, it was nobody sitting at the bar. The money was already like separated to pay out or give whoever needed to be paid, and the people were upstairs. When they did come in, it was about like probably like 4 people maybe had the beers and stuff in their hand, and then he said they had to throw them away. I wasn't aware, like, because I'm a new owner and I'm new at this, that, and I'm learning. I asked her for paperwork in the back because just listen to all the cases so we could do better. And this with the staff there, sometimes, you know, when you're not over top of people, they do what they want to do. I'm not going to be there 24/7 because I work for the state and I'm always at work. But when I do come in on my days off, I kind of try to police them. I'm real familiar with this lady right here. She comes in my establishment a lot. And every time she asks me to do something, or next time I come in, and they come in a lot. So I'm just like, wow, when do you guys not come in? But when they do come in, I'm always in compliance. When they said after hour operation, I didn't even know what that was. So I had called the lady that helped me do my liquor license, like filing and getting permits and
So
stuff
you
like
said
that.
you didn't know that there was a cutoff
I knew
time?
it was a party, like they rented upstairs for a birthday
No,
party.
did you know that there was a cutoff time that you couldn't sell liquor after a certain time?
So from my understanding, they already had it. When I got there at 2:30, it was nobody at the bar. Nobody was selling. The money was already gone.
I understand that,
Right.
but you knew that, you know, for your establishment,
Yeah,
that
2
liquor has
o'clock.
2 o'clock.
2
Okay, that's what I
o'clock
just
is,
want to make
yeah,
sure
2
you
o'clock is it. So that's when I talked to somebody else that came in with these guys right here, the task force, they instructed me, like, if you're going to have people doing, like, renting parties and you go over the time, you probably need to apply for the after-hour permit. At that point in time, they tried to tell me I was operating like after-hour permit, and I said, no, it's a birthday party, and that's what they explained to me. If you go over your 2 o'clock mark, then that's considered after-hour. So,
And you only can do certain things, even if you have that permit.
well, right. See, I mean, I'm learning. So the very next day, I called the license lady to apply for the after-hour permit. So we have a problem as this again. I won't be falling under the bad rule violations with them. So
And that was that for food, or you understand? Well, we'll talk about that after.
okay. So yeah, I'm just kind of learning about stuff like that. But with that being said, I guess we were wrong for having a party, but not making them get out at a certain point in time. So I
Okay.
can say like that is my staff fault. But ever since then that they come in now after the fact that this happened, we already shut down before 2 o'clock. And they have come in again, like I said, they come in quite often. I don't understand why, because I'm in compliance. I thought you come in more when you're not in compliance. But however, like I said, every time this lady right here come in, we're in compliance. But ever since then, we shut down at 2.
Okay.
So I have no more violations or after hour thing going on after they came in this last time.
Okay. The Commissioner's got any questions before I ask anything else?
I'm going to defer my questions because I know Commissioner Thomas is going to ask some. Thank you.
Well, no, I mean, it's being a business owner means that you have a certain accountability and you're taking ownership
Yes.
of your establishment. That means you need to think about having personnel there that represents your brand, represents your business, and they got to know the rules.
Right.
So, you know, the liquor board with the licenses that we issue, we have routine inspections, right? That's just
No, I'm
what we
aware
do.
because I don't.
Okay, so our inspectors are required to go out and go to the businesses that have the licenses. That's routine. So when you say they come in and out all the time, we have routine inspections that need to be conducted.
Every Friday. This is.
So you're saying it's
So
every
you
Friday. How many times have you?
Yeah, how many
have-
times have you
this
seen
is a
inspectors come
lot.
in?
This is a lot. Like even
What's a
when I
lot?
was
I
listening
just wanna
about the
know.
MOU
Right.
thing, like she came in and told me about the MOU. Like next time you gotta have the MOU, or like we're gonna have to shut it down. I immediately called my liquor attorney. Like, listen, I need this MOU because this lady's not playing with me. I need the MOU. The next time she came in, it was there, right? It was on the wall. But I never just seen like they come in like a lot. for somebody, I thought that you go to a business that's not in compliance. Like I've been listening, the guy bathrooms was dirty and shut down. I'm like, I'm not even going through all of that. You get what I'm saying?
I understand.
So like, I guess like I said, I'm just learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
You
also
have to be a little bit more
Well, I
hands-on.
have been there more since that happened. I have been there like a lot myself. So that's why I say since I've been there, I haven't seen them come in. And even the inspector for the other license, they haven't been in. But I have been there a little bit more since that previous thing has happened.
Yeah, Commissioner Thomas has a lot of
Yeah.
experience when it comes to.
And you also
management of restaurant.
serve food.
Yeah, I've been listening. Trust me.
Yeah.
You're not a person to
So
play.
take advantage of.
I was asking the inspector right in the back,
You know,
like, can you give me that paper?
you can sign on for virtual if
Yeah.
you can't physically, be in person. We do in person and virtual trainings. But we want licensees to be responsible for the license.
I'm really trying to be responsible for this license. Trust me, it's a lot.
Yeah,
But I'm there now.
We're here to help also, but I have no other questions when it comes to this matter. Any questions, Commissioner?
No question.
Okay. Based on the violation report, the testimony that was given today, any evidence that we have in the record, I do find there was, and you did make an admission after we did the hearing, that there was a violation of Maryland Code, Alcoholic Beverages and Cannabis, Section 12-200, or 2007A, after-hour activity prohibited in licensed premises. I believe there's a mandatory minimum of $1,000, so we can't go under $1,000, but I am going to fine you just $1,000 and give you 30 days to pay. I understand that you are trying to get things right. I really appreciate you trying to step in. Some of our licensees aren't doing that. I also appreciate that you're trying to use some of the sources of knowledge and education that we can provide. So I do commend you on doing that.
Yeah, every time they tell me something changed because there's a new person in charge, I try to update everything and put it on the wall so when they come in, it's available. It's not like some of these other people I've been listening to, you can't find them or they hiding it. Everything is available for them when they come in.
And this is the first time I think you had an after-hours violation.
Yeah, and like I said, once they advised me of how all of that works, I went and applied for one so I won't get in trouble if we have a birthday party or we go over something like that. But I'm still in the process of that.
Thank you. Commissioner Chambers.
I concur with the chairman on violation, Maryland Code, alcohol, beverage, and cannabis, after hours, activity prohibited, and licensed premises of amount of $1,000 on October 18th, 2025, with 30 days to pay.
Also,
Thomas.
find you in violation of the Maryland Code of Alcoholic Beverages and Cannabis 12-2007A, after hours activity prohibited in licensed premises on October the 18th, in the amount of a fine of $1,000.
Ms. Russell,
I call exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Agent Perez.
good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
There being no further business.
A long one
before
today.
It was. Before this board, the board is in recess until Thursday, March 12, 2026, at 10:30 a.m. We are adjourned.
Off the record at 12:30.
Holy smokes.